All right, and we're live again. This is Robert reporting from day 3 of our AI at Sustainability Virtual Hackathon. It's getting there. We're getting closer to the end of our event, and I'm really excited for our day 3 update. So again, like yesterday, you're going to hear some voices from the team, check out what's happened. So here, this is us, the Siemens AI Lab. We're live here in the beautiful co-working offices in Munich. My name is Robert Lohmer. I'll be your host for the next hour, giving you the latest from our 5 challenge tracks. Now, quick recap of the live streams. We did our kickoff on Wednesday, had a really good time there. Great guests, also from the State Ministry of Bavaria of Digital Affairs. Yesterday, we did our team update, the first one, and both of those you can still watch if you missed those. You can rewatch them as video on demand here on the Ingenuity platform. And now we're going to do the second round of team updates. It's getting starting to get a little hectic. You know, the results are coming in, and tomorrow is when the final line will be reached. This is going to be it, and the teams are going to pitch their result in front of the jury. A quick recap. What is this hackathon about? We're solving AI sustainability challenges, so trying to support the pursuit of the sustainable development goals through artificial intelligence. We had a lot of applications for this one, so we really cherry-picked out of the 265 applicants from 30 countries. We cherry-picked the 50 best ones and have 10 of them working each in one of our 5 challenges. And they have a total of 72 hours of time, which, like I said, is nearing its end. What happened today? Quick recap. So as always, they started in the morning with our friend Case doing the stretching session, which, by the way, you can always also check out live and stretch together with the participants. Then they did their daily stand-ups and check-ins, and then, well, they were hacking, obviously. Quick lunch break, although I could believe that some of them even skipped that. And then today, interesting, they had their pitch training with one of our innovation experts, Jan, and who kind of gave them the advice on how to structure their pitch, how to do it, and how to deliver the perfect pitch tomorrow in front of the audience. Then they did more hacking, and now we're doing the updates, and you can bet that after that they're not going to be over. They're probably still going to be hacking quite into the night. Actually, I think some of them are already quite sleep deprived, but it's a hackathon, so gotta give it your all. Okay, so on to our 5 challenges to change the world. In this order, as usual, we have health with our friends from GIZ, we have water with Grundfos, buildings with Siemens Expo, mobility with SBB, and energy with Energinet. And starting out with health again, the team captains are Valentin and Mitch, and they are trying to do the following. This is data-powered positive deviance. So this is something they've already been doing for quite some time. Positive deviance is the idea that within communities, the challenges, the struggles that you're facing, you always find some individuals, some groups that cope a lot better with these than others. And you, of course, want to look at these per data science. And they're already doing this for a couple of use cases, but now with the spread of the coronavirus, they also added a pilot to do this on epidemic mitigation, right? So which communities, which people coped better at mitigating the pandemic. They had a lot of structural and time dynamic data to do this, trying to build models that predict the spread of the pandemic and then look for the positive outliers in this data. It's a really interesting and kind of different data analytics approach, and we're really excited to see what has happened there, especially in the last 24 hours. So give it up for their team update.
Hi everyone, I'm Lena from the GIZ Data Lab, and I'm super excited to host another interview session with my team members here from the GIZ Data Powered Positive Deviance Health Challenge. I'm in the GIZ headquarters at the very moment. It's really nice, super cold in here. But there's extremely nice weather here in Frankfurt. So a big thank you to all team participants that you're actually staying inside and coding. Guys, maybe you can just quickly tell us and the community how you're staying sane at such a day, and if you have any tip that you can share with regards to, yeah, keeping it cool basically in front of the computer.
Well, I guess the programmer's answer would be to just shut off all the lights, but honestly, we didn't do it. So honestly, we were just drinking actually lots of water, cold water from the fridge. So that's the most exciting thing I can share actually.
And just remember, anytime you are worried about your sanity, just remember that people are still investing in Wirecard. So that should send shivers down your spine.
So in my room, fortunately, it's pretty cool. And I got a piñata as a birthday present, and I'm taking out sweets all the time. It's supposed to be for the party, but I guess now it's working.
A hackathon is always a party, I guess. So that's really, really cool. Like, I love your piñata. Guys, getting into the challenge. So how do you feel in comparison to yesterday? Did you do improvement on your challenges? I know you guys are again from two different teams. So maybe Ali and Viet, maybe you want to go first and give an expression on what you're working on and what kind of progress you made.
Yeah, actually, I'm super happy working with my team. So yesterday, I mean, it was a bit rough to get started and there was some like switching in, switching out of the team. But actually right now we are in a good place. I have two colleagues, they do a fantastic job right now. So what I have been working on yesterday, I continued today. So I'm doing mainly some data preparations and some basic static models actually. So some basic linear regressions with different kind of target data. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and it's going really well. And I guess as a team we're growing, so I mean we're just working and continuing. So yeah, that's it.
Wait, you said two colleagues, but I'm your colleague too.
Yes, of course. So 3 or 4, however many you want. So everyone's welcome in our team actually. So
yeah, for me it's roughly the same. So it's the first day that I was able to commit to this project due to other obligations. So my role in this team is rather different since I don't have that strong machine learning background. I was focusing on familiarizing myself with the data, running the baseline models, and now I'm trying to set up the pitching structure. And it's about making the work that the other teams have been doing so wonderfully to shine. And in this way, I hope that I can contribute.
How about you, Linda? Like, maybe you can give a little bit more like broader like insight, since you have already interacted with so many other team members also yesterday.
So I am on track 2. We are still 4 team members, highly motivated. I'm very happy with them, and we were able to share a lot of tasks. And we tried. Sorry, that's my phone. Yeah, and we tried out a lot of different approaches. So we split the data by district and also by day, and it does have an impact. And in the end, it will also have an impact on the policy decisions. So we're happy about that, but we're still trying out different approaches.
Okay, talking about approaches, what kind of technologies or like analytical approaches are you guys using? Maybe you can just pitch that really fastly. Linda, because we're already talking, maybe you can go first.
So model-wise, we tried out different models like linear models, tree models, neural networks, and also a baseline, because sometimes the baseline is very, very hard to beat. And feature-wise, we engineered new features out of the given data, especially with regards to mobility. And we also incorporated graph-based data. And yeah, also I would say the splitting of the data is also a very big part of our project, because it also leads to the policy implications in the end.
And turning back to you guys, maybe you can also give a short impression on the approaches you're using.
Yeah, actually, we are doing quite a similar thing to what Linda just mentioned. So we also tried out different types of models. We also tried to beat our baseline. We also added new features to the models that we are doing right now. So
basically kind of similar, but just with a smaller data set at the moment.
All right.
And not to forget the most important technology of all, Google.
Does it work pretty well, right?
But also regarding our challenge, what I find very intricate is that we do not have a setting where we have a product we are trying to sell to the jury later on, but it's more about actually making decision points that policymakers can use. And in that way, it is challenging, but it is a fine one, I suppose.
That's cool. That's really interesting to hear. Thank you so much, guys. I'm more than excited for the pitch tomorrow, to be very honest. And yeah, thank you for this team update, and keep hacking, keep staying cool. I hope the piñata still has lots of sweets in it, so you can make it until tomorrow. Cool. Thank you, guys, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, awesome. Thanks a lot for the update from Team Health and the GIZ. Yes, summer has actually come. It's also quite hot here in Munich as well, and I've, sort of sporting my best summer look today as well. So that's good to know that you're all keeping cool. I think also another aspect that this really shows, so you were noticing that, and all teams have been doing this, that they're basically dividing the tasks into sub-teams, right? And I think this is a really beautiful aspect of what we're doing in this hackathon generally, is that, it's more, the collaborative aspect is a lot more important than the competitive aspect, right? That's exactly what we said, okay, let's have one large team per challenge, have them managed by team captains, so, you can structure it a little better. That's actually why, we have these large teams. A lot of people say that for a hackathon, you shouldn't have more than 5 or 6 people per team, but with this team captain setup, we can actually pull it off, and it really comes together nicely, and you can get a lot more done in this short amount of time. Also, interesting aspect, of course, that yes, this track is a little different in that you're not really delivering a set target, a set optimization target, but much rather you're doing explorative data exploration. And that, of course, gives you a more open solution space, but also a lot of power and interesting ideas that you can play around with. And I really like the aspiration, to inspire policymakers with the work that you do. Next up is our track with Grundfos, the water track, hosted by Nikolai and Yinchong. And what they are doing, again, to quickly recap, is trying to detect and classify particles in a water stream on high-resolution cameras, and classify whether or not they are bacterial or just simple particles. This is of course important because that way you can detect contaminated water easily on really scalable and easily distributable hardware. And with 800 million people in the water not having access to clean water, this of course can have a tremendous sustainability aspect. Now, as a machine learning problem, this would be hard enough in and of itself, as a classification problem, but it doesn't stop there, because what you want is a system that can basically learn on its own and not just be trained for every individual use case. So what they're trying here is a federated learning approach in order to train the model decentralized, get data from different suppliers or different water companies without even them giving up the privacy of their data. That makes it a lot more difficult and intricate as a machine learning problem, but I'm sure they can pull it off. So let's see what their update is.
So hello, I'm here with Team Grundfos again for the second team update. We already know Nikolai, he was here yesterday as well, but today we also have Nicole. Can you maybe quickly introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself and your role here.
My name is Nicole Book. I am 19 years old. I'm an environmental engineering student, and I'm working on the water track, that is the camera-based water contamination detection. And although I don't have that much experience in coding, I think I have been useful in the more biological aspect of the project, and by means that we have to classify bacteria, and with my background, we can know exactly more specifically what to look for. So it has been very exciting to work with people with so many different backgrounds, and I'm having a lot of fun.
That's awesome to hear. Can you guys tell me a bit more about what different kinds of backgrounds you have, what different kinds of skill sets are represented in your track?
Well, in our track, we have different kinds of backgrounds in regards to the formation of the people, the university formation, but also in the area of research. We have people that are doing their master thesis on federated learning, for instance. We have me as a bachelor student, computer science students. We have PhDs in all kinds of data science. And of course, we have Nikolai and Yinsheng that are very experienced. So it's really great to work with all different kinds of people.
Yeah,
I
Nikolai,
fully share that view. Yeah.
how is it for you? What different kinds of backgrounds have you observed as a track captain?
Yes, I think we have quite a range of backgrounds, not only from different technical disciplines, but also ranging in experience. As Nicole said, academia. Some have been doing work for startups. Like that, we could really use that experience when we were trying to begin our pitch for tomorrow, right? So I think we have a number of good backgrounds coming really nice together in this team here. So I'm really happy.
That's great to hear. So what is the progress that you made since yesterday, since the last time we talked? Can you give me an update?
Yeah, so yesterday was really all about getting that baseline, getting acquainted with data, having that first result we could benchmark everything against. And actually, we did not manage to have that result at the end of yesterday. But people really came through, and we had it first thing this morning. So we were ready to split out, put our focus on federated learning, and while at the same time improving our centralized model, which we're going to plug into the federated framework later. Yeah, so that has been what we've been focusing on today.
So I assume you didn't have much sleep, or how is the situation with you?
I think for me it was fine, but I can see some of the people have been active quite late, so I was happy to wake up early this morning to see that.
Nicole, you're laughing. How is it as a participant?
I'm laughing because today I almost forgot to have lunch. So that's really a relatable question. Working on stuff, you lose the track of time. And when you see you have a meeting with all the team in 15 minutes, and you have prepared nothing to eat, and you just have to grab a salad real quick. So, but it's fun, you know.
Yingchang, how is the experience for you?
Yeah, I think sleeping, I do not have a problem with sleeping, but yesterday I didn't have lunch, didn't have supper, and today I didn't have breakfast, I didn't have lunch, so I can feel that I'm losing weight, which is a great thing. I can use that.
The hackathon diet, that's a crazy one.
Yes.
Okay, so so we learned that sleep and eating frequently may be challenging. Have you experienced any technical difficulties or any difficulties of other kind?
Well, I think everyone working on a single one SageMaker instance was a little bit challenging at the beginning. We really need to do a lot of work in self-organizing. And now, because we are splitting into subgroups, and each group has their own SageMaker instances, I think it is working quite well for us now.
Yeah, I think we also had some yesterday some sort of, we just had to find the rhythm of how people work and what motivates people and you know, so but today I see a really improvement in the team, that we just people just do their thing, and that's really nice to see. Good things are just happening. I really like it.
Awesome. So what are the biggest learnings for you so far?
That's a tough one.
Federated learning is unstable. But that is what makes it so fun to work at it. Otherwise, it would be boring.
Yes, completely agree.
Yeah.
How about you, Nicole?
I think one thing that is really motivating about this track specifically is, as a student, or I think everyone in the track can relate, to see people that have kind of the same goals and kind of the same motivation as you. So the teamwork, I think, how to improve teamwork, and in this situation, a pandemic situation, is a very big learning, because you have to coordinate a lot with different people and you're not seeing them face to face, but you have to create a connection with them. But I think we've done it quite well. I feel really close to the other teammates, so that's really good.
Wow, that sounds awesome. So what are the next steps for you until tomorrow, until the pitch?
Yeah, so I think right now we are really working on the storyline of our pitch. Then we really want to nail that one. So we are putting a lot of effort into making it very crisp. We just had the session with Jan earlier, and so tonight's one of the hackathon sessions is gonna be around that. Other than that, I think we're gonna hopefully plug in the good baseline model into our or centralized model into our the federated setup, and let the GPUs do their magic, and then wait.
Well, sounds like you're on a good track. I wish you all the best and hope you get everything done in time. I'm sure you'll have a great result. Thank you so much for this team update, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow, amazing. Thanks so much to Team Grundfos and on the water team. And I guess, yeah, so interesting also, I'm really glad we have quite a wide age spread actually in the participants. So while Nicole, I think, might be, as 19 years old, she might be one of the youngest. We also have a couple of participants in their 40s and 50s. I think you could also see on the interview that we did that, you know, we have people working in corporates, we have people, you know, who are students, PhDs, so it's quite diverse. Maybe that's also a good time to recap actually how the participants were selected. So I said that 265 people applied for the hackathon. And one crucial thing is that they apply specifically to the track that they want to participate in, which creates a lot more commitment, and you really get the people to apply for the challenge that they actually have the expertise for and that they want to work on. And then the team captains who had been preparing at that point already for quite a while, they get to pick their dream team out of the participants, out of the applicants, right? So depending on how many people applied to their track, they had around 40 to 80 people to choose the best 10 from. Right? I'm really glad to see that we have, also a lot of super young talents in there who can bring their expertise to the table. So actually, in case you're interested, the average age is 27 years on this hackathon. And so this is the basic setup. One more thing. Don't forget to eat, guys. I know it's a hackathon and you're pulling your all-nighters, but food is super important. If you were here in the physical location, we would be feeding you. We can't do that this year. So I'll just remind you, don't stop eating, except if you want to lose weight, I guess. But even then, supper is super important to stay energized. Next up, we have our third track, which is the building strap from our friends of the Siemens Expo team, headed by Johannes, Vinay, and Ujjwal. What they are trying to do is for the Expo 2020, which is actually going to be Expo 2021 in Dubai, Siemens is supplying basically technology for all buildings in the entire site. And the ambition is to make the most sustainable expo there in terms of energy measures that has ever been. And for this, you want to, of course, optimize the energy consumption of buildings, but you should definitely do that without losing any of the comfort, especially in such a hot location as Dubai, right? So what they're doing, and this is interesting because it's also different from the other challenges, they're not working on a static given data set, they're actually working on a simulation, doing what we call reinforcement learning, interacting with the simulation, trying to optimize the energy consumption without losing sort of the comfort that people expect. We already heard yesterday that the difficult part of that was especially tweaking the reward function. So what should we optimize to? How do we incorporate all these different aspects, these different attributes in order to really find an optimal solution? And I'm really excited to hear what has happened on the third day of the hackathon. So
hello for the second team update. I'm here with Team Expo, and just to start, I wanna learn, how's the mood? How's the team been doing? How do you feel?
Yeah, hi, my name is Ujjwal, and I'm one of the track captains for this the Siemens Expo team. Yeah, so the team almost spent the entire night developing the solution. So most of the team is sleepless and a bit tired. But yeah, since we really want to develop a good solution that actually takes this, provides a good impact on the society for sustainable, and since it is energy concerned, we really want to develop the solution. And this spirit and the zeal is what is driving us to develop more and test this even better. So we have a few solutions that have been developed, 2 models, and we are thoroughly testing that so that we can make the model as realistic and as close to real life as possible. So that, let's assume you are in your home and you want your applications to be controlled automatically, and you want your energy bill also be less. So then this model can definitely help you to reduce your energy bill while you enjoy and sit back, relax, and sip your coffee and something like that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're making such great progress and even working throughout the night. Can you tell me a bit more about the constellation of your team? What kind of different team members do you have? Which skill sets are covered by your team?
I think so. Our team contains a lot of skill sets, which ranging from Unity simulation to visualization to C++ coding to reinforcement learning based skills to machine learning skills. And we have a lot of people who actually have a lot of some presentation skills and a lot of communication skills. So it's a very diverse team, because if somebody is working on the technical part, then there's always someone else who is working on the more like the communication part, and maybe somebody is working on the visualization, how we can visualize our solution. So this gives a very good impact on the team, so that at least one part can continuously work on the code part, one part can work on the visualization part, and the other part can constantly keep motivating the team as well as provide the communication part. Yeah. So that way, I think so. It's a very good combination of researchers. Yeah.
Perfect. You talked about motivating the other team members, and I know you worked all night. So despite the lack of sleep, was there any major challenge that you were facing, and how did you approach or resolve it?
I think so. One of the major challenges was, since ours is the only team that is working with a simulation based setup, and since it is completely virtual, we're not able to visualize a lot of the stuff. So there's a lot of problems when we try to correct with the simulation, try to train our model there, right? So the problems keep on arising, but then the team members always are ready. Like as soon as I ping in the group that there's a problem here, or somebody else pings that the communication is not working, there's always some other person who is ready to help, and instantly we make a team call, or even a small specific call with specific people, and then we can just resolve it. Either it takes 2 hours or maybe 3 hours, but we leave it only when it gets resolved, because then the other team also depends on this part. So we really need to take this seriously. Yeah.
Awesome. So how would you describe the biggest learnings of this hackathon so far? And maybe the others can also give their opinions on that if they'd like.
Yeah, sure. One of the biggest challenging was being virtual. So that is like one of the biggest, like, because cannot interact or maybe draw some equations or the entire workflow on a draw board, on a whiteboard, right? So you'll have to like use your mouse to draw something on a whiteboard and write it down on a like a project management board like a Miro. So that's some problems, and maybe Steven, Stefano, and even Daniel can share their opinions on the difficulties that we are facing because of this, maybe this virtual setup. Yeah, guys. Oh.
Yeah, no, I was thinking, what to say? Yeah, it's not being, not being with the others. It's we have a lot of tools, we have a lot of options, but still, at least also the interaction with the people, also the human contact, and I don't know, the joke, and everything is a little bit smoother in that sense. And but still, this is what we have to deal with. And yeah, the once we have managed the problem of getting to use to all this complex environment, and yeah, and simulation, and now things are getting better. But still, you have like, let's say 36 hours, 38 hours, is that you don't have weeks, so you have to think up front what you want to do, and try to pick the best option. And also because our algorithms takes a lot of time to train, so it's more like a one-shot, one opportunity. And yeah, but this is also the the adrenaline part, the good part of the game. That's why we are here for. It's what we are here for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Maybe you can say where you're located, just for the audience to know where you're located and what are you currently working on.
Yeah, actually, I'm located in Torino, Italy, and just for a few weeks, because I live in the Netherlands. But it's always good to be home, especially in this period. And yeah, and we were working on this kind of data-driven solution to optimize the temperature control of buildings while trying to saving as much energy as possible while keeping the comfort at an optimal level. So we use a lot of data, we use a lot of measurements on all over the buildings, and then we try to create this kind of smart algorithm that is able to manage all these appliances and try to keep the temperature in an optimal range. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks. How about you, Steven? Where are you located?
So I'm in my home office in Karlsruhe in Germany. So I'm really enjoying the time with other people because since I work from the home office a lot, this is a really yeah, it's a change in things. So yeah, I really enjoy the time.
And what are you working on currently?
So I'm in Stefano's team. So I'm working on the reinforcement learning, model-based reinforcement learning. We're still having some issues, but I think we can resolve them in the next few hours and compare results then and prepare our pitch for tomorrow.
So those are the next steps, resolving the last remaining problems and preparing the pitch. Is there anything else you'll be using your time for until tomorrow, until the final presentation?
Well, some other team members are working on the visualization of the results. So they are building animations right now. I think that we have to maybe stay in contact in the next few hours just to make sure that all the results are transferred to the visualization part. So that will be another big thing.
So will you have any sleep tonight?
Probably not.
Okay, I wish you all the best for resolving all the remaining problems and preparing everything for the pitch. Tomorrow, I'm sure you'll have a great solution. We're definitely super excited to have you here. And that's it from Team Expo's second update. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thanks for the update from Team Buildings. Really cool to see that, you know, especially now on as you go along, as you get more, you know, get to know each other. I think we can really see that, you know, the teams are coming together more. You're getting more used to the virtual setup, even though, of course, it's still a little bit hindering. But then again, of course, this makes the team super diverse with people from Germany, Italy, you know, Ujwal is in India, and you know, there's even people from Doggerland, so your team is even more diverse. So really nice to see that things are coming together. One thing to note, your challenge is a reinforcement learning challenge, and I'm very, very happy to see that you know, you're starting to get stable solutions, because I know from experience that reinforcement learning can be very hard to stabilize. But I guess this goes for all of these challenges, and I think it's really important to note for all the people out there who are not working in data science or have experience, you know, working with machine learning. Machine learning does not deliver reliable solutions to your problem. It can deliver great solutions, but and this is very different from, for example, app development or web development. You do not get deterministic solutions. This is really research, right? And you don't exactly know what's coming out beforehand, because you're working with statistical data and trying to derive general principles out of the data. And that's what's so amazing, and what makes me really happy to see that it seems like all the projects are really coming together and delivering solid results, because there probably is a lot of people who would argue that you can't even do machine learning on a hackathon, and these teams are all pulling it off because they really know their stuff and they really know how to get, you know, reliable results in such a short amount of time. So I'm super glad that this is working out, and very, very proud that you guys are making this work. And on to the next exciting track, which is our mobility track with the Swiss Federal Railways guys, headed by Jorim and Diana. Again, to recap, what they're trying to do is predict mobility behavior of the customers in Switzerland. Now, of course, you want to do this because you can then build better and more sustainable solutions and mobility offerings. However, of course, there's, you know, external factors to be accounted for example, the weather. So what they're trying to achieve is, given a certain time and a certain location and a certain weather condition, predict the movement and, you know, frequencies of movement within a certain area, and use this in the future to, you know, offer more sustainable mobility offerings to the customers. Of course, this can have a great impact. You know, mobility is a huge part of our CO2 impact in our world, right? So we want to make this as sustainable as possible. And I'm excited to hear what the team has come up with on day 3 of our hackathon.
Hi Jorim, I'm really glad to have you here as the track captain from the team Mobility. And I'm really curious to ask you some questions and just to hear you talking about your current project. Yeah.
Hi.
So first of all, like what progress did you make since the last team update yesterday?
So basically, we have split our track into two parts. One is the main part, the modeling part, and then we have a demo part where we create the app. And on the modeling side, we have solved all data quality problems. We are done with the feature engineering, and now we are designing two prediction models within two teams. On the front-end side, we have created a web app as a proof of concept. There is no real data in it yet, and now we're trying to connect it with the prediction model, and also we're creating some new features.
Sounds really interesting. I mean, you are working in two teams now. How does it work out?
Yeah, I think that's one of our biggest learnings so far, that we've learned that it's very important to split the team into groups. At the beginning, we only had one big team and all the decisions had to be made in this team, and it was really slow. So now we have split the group into smaller teams, and this definitely gave us a huge boost. We don't have to discuss everything together, and yeah, we have three great teams that can work more or less independently. One person is now like between the teams and tries to synchronize everything.
Sounds like a good solution to have one person to sync both teams. Are there any more learnings you have so far?
Yeah, I think it's good to have the fixed communication channels. So we use Slack and we use Miro boards and also Teams just to be on the same track. Yeah.
Yeah, so from the communication side, everything is fixed now. And on the technological side, are there any like best practices you learned so far?
Yeah, we have for our task we have a regression setting. So basically, we want to learn from historical data what typical movement behavior looks like for given circumstances, such as weather, seasonality, and location. We don't really know what kind of AI algorithm we will use, but I guess a feed-forward neural network will perform quite well. But yeah, we have to see. We'll try other algorithms as well.
Cool. And your like largest challenges, what like are they?
I guess at the moment it's the time. So the time is running out, and we have some critical features that need to be implemented. And then we have a lot of ideas, cool ideas that we would like to implement. But yeah, I think we need to prioritize smartly and work hard so we make it to the finish line.
Sounds like a good plan. And like to jump more from the communication and project management part to the like impact of your solution, and what kind of sustainability impact has your solution right now, or is there any update from like the update yesterday?
I think if we get a better understanding of mobility, we can create or improve mobility services to make them more sustainable. As an example, it would help in demand responsive traffic, which place. So yeah, we know which places have a high demand, respectively, where should we increase the availability for mobility services. We could optimize on-demand bus routes to reduce empty rides or optimize the fill rates of our vehicles. Also for fleet management to know where we should place bikes or scooters that people can use them. And yeah, all of these examples make public transport and sharing services more attractive, which overall helps to reduce CO2 emissions.
Cool. Sounds really relevant to crowded cities like Munich. I don't know where you are currently living. Like,
I'm in Zurich. We have the same problem.
Okay, got it. So really a highly relevant topic. Maybe you can just share some more information about like where are you working currently and what is your goal for tomorrow?
Yeah, so I'm currently working to create a new data set because we have some new ideas and I have to create a new data set to make some new calculations. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm working with the demo team so they can make a great pitch, give them some ideas. Yeah.
Good luck for that. I'm really excited about that. And yeah, just to get some more information about the technological side of your project, like what kind of technologies are you using currently? And you already told me something about you having a lot of ideas and also I think a stock of different technologies you wanted to use, but sometimes you have to prioritize. So what are your favorites?
I think from an AI side, I guess we're going to use neural networks. Maybe random forests will perform well, but we don't really know yet. On the front end, we just use simple HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Yeah, and we're trying to run this on the AWS server. I hope this will work out fine.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, do you want to add something? Did your team say something to you? What you want to shout out to the audience, or is there something you want to add?
Yeah, I want to thank my team. They all work really hard and they give their best. And I'm really happy to be at this challenge, especially from the SVP side. We're always looking for new innovative solutions. And yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Just one last question. Like, what is your average sleep like time actually? I mean, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, I think until now we got some sleep still. So I guess it's around 6 hours. But maybe this night will be different because we have a lot of stuff to do and yeah, time is running out. Okay, so I'm not stopping you from working anymore and I'm really glad to have you here for this short update call. And yeah, have a nice evening and we see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, really nice to hear that you are still getting some sleep. But also what Joachim talked about just now, I think that is a really, really nice example of what I mentioned earlier. So basically now with new ideas coming in, you're not just creating a new model, you actually have to go back at your data set and, you know, turn things around there, right? And this is usually stuff that people take weeks and months for. And here people are really adapting on the fly to match the new requirements with new ideas coming in. I also really like the fact that there's, you know, new creativity and, you know, use cases that by the team captains in preparation hadn't been anticipated before are coming in from the participants. That is really, really cool to see. And I think that already goes to show also about, you know, where we're going with this for the actual final pitches, because, you know, with the 3 different winning categories, one being the sustainability impact, one being the technical excellence. So where are you sort of delivering to, just in terms of who delivered the best on a technical perspective and on data science perspective, but also most innovative team, right? So which team over-delivered most in terms of the scope of the challenge, right? And One important thing is that for the pitch tomorrow, which will only be 6 minutes long, what we really want to see and what the jury is really going to want to see is a live demo of what is running. So I'm really glad to see that you're actually building a web application to showcase what you've been doing. Of course, the focus is on the data science and you have data scientists primarily on your team, but in the end, you want to showcase it, you want to present what you've done. So I'm glad that things are going into that direction. I hope you can catch some sleep tonight, but keep it going like that, and I wish the best of luck for the pitch tomorrow. And last but not least, our friends from Energinet with the energy track hosted by Mikkel and Florian. To recap, what they're trying to do is they are basing off of their innovative Origin platform, which based on blockchain technology is supposed to enable Danish consumers, energy consumers, to on an hourly basis track the origin of their electric energy. And of course, the vision of this is to really push renewables, which Denmark wants to have 100% by 2030, to push renewables by giving consumers the active choice. Now, a problem in achieving this is, of course, matching the production of energy to the demand of energy, right? And this is where our track comes in, where they're trying to use AI to predict the output of energy producing assets, mainly wind turbines. So, really excited to see what they have been able to cook up in the last 24 hours.
Thank you, Robert, for the kind introduction. I'm here with Fatih from the energy track. Like yesterday, we are doing a small update to see what they've been up to. So hi, Fatih, how are you doing? How has the hackathon been so far?
Yeah, hello again. So it was a great experience so far, very intense experience, but it's still fun.
Yeah. So and yeah, how long did you actually sleep? I think like hackathons are usually characterized by a lot of hacking and really few sleeping hours.
Yes, it was I guess 3 to 4 hours maximum.
Yeah, and also the team, how is it holding up? Is everything working technical wise?
Yes, I mean I have to say we really got great support from you guys. I had colleagues which helped me to create a new environment in order to get the app working. So and I think within 1 hour everything was set up, and same goes for my colleagues in the different groups. So this is we have great support here.
Yeah. Thanks. That's nice to hear. Yeah, so you're talking about the groups. How did you actually structure your project, and how did it change from yesterday? Were there some changes?
Yes, one track of one challenge within our group finished today, and then the people spread to other groups, and we created another group as well, which deals with the final pitch and the front end design of our app, of our solution. So it was a nice mixture, and you could see that people there is a general knowledge and experience base we have in our group. So more or less everybody can be used in every task. So which is great.
So actually, you also have all experience in like front end development and making something nice and shiny, or is this what you're talking about, or like the data science skill set?
Both. I mean, we have great experience concerning data science, but we also put a lot of effort in providing the product to those people who are interested in it, in the results. So we want to have good results. We want to, of course, to show how much effort we put in them, but we also want people to use the technology we are developing. So, and we think that this only works if you provide a very simple interface, a very simple app, which is easy to understand and very easy to use.
So you're talking about technology. Maybe we can get into this a little bit more. So how you were yesterday? You guys were up to building a baseline model. How did you make it? Did you make it yesterday, or how was the process until now?
No, the last news is that we are still working on it. I'm very confident that we will be finished by today. by the end of by today evening maybe, and we will also refine the models today, so which will improve our results. And so yeah, today will be the day.
Yeah, and how did you structure your models, or which kind of technology are you using, algorithm, so to say?
Yes, I mean, before we decided on algorithms, I mean it's very fancy to use all these algorithm names and neural networks, all these hashtags. But what we first did was we decided to separate the one model into two. We will have one physical model which describes the component, so the wind turbines or particular wind turbine. And then we will have a so-called commercial model, which deals with the decisions that are taken due to governments or due to regulations or due to customer decisions. So just to give you one brief example, prices go very low and you would expect that plants are shut down. But maybe there is a customer which who gets benefits from the government to keep the power plant in operation, or maybe who has a totally different cost structure for its turbine operation. But this is not part of the physical model, right? So regulations may change, for example, and you fix your commercial model, but the physics of the component doesn't change, or it's not expected to change very rapidly. And then, of course, we now, if we focus on the physical model, we thought about, well, do we have a time series problem, or can we describe it as a state function more or less? And there, looking at the data, we decided upon a state function. So recurrent neural networks are currently not used. What we discussed is the use of gradient boosted trees because they're very fast. Also, neural networks were in discussion. So yeah.
And so, what do you want to learn from this physical model? What were the key outputs you're trying to get?
Oh, the key output is, and we think this is very important. It shows you what is the maximum capability of a wind turbine given certain weather conditions. Now we hope that if you plot all the information, you will not only get information what is very likely to be sold the next day, but what will be available the next day.
Ah, okay, I see. So like it's like both parts of the market.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can combine the information, of course, but you can look at them separately as well, which is very interesting.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think it's really nice progress you made there, and it's a really smart decision from my point of view to split it into two models.
Thanks.
So maybe one last question: what are your next steps until tomorrow? The pitch.
Yeah, tonight there will be a wedding between the app and also the model. So we have to combine both components of our hackathon and prepare everything for tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you so much for your time. I'm really excited to see what you come up with for the final pitch, and have good luck and have the strength to keep going.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Thanks for the very technical update. Actually, really nice to see that you're giving us some details here on what you've actually been doing. I also really appreciate the fact that you're making a point that the shiny deep learning world, deep neural networks, all the kind of big buzzwords that have really, and rightfully so, have really been driving artificial intelligence, especially in the last 10 years, and are at the core of that big hype around AI, they might not necessarily be the way to go and not always the best option, right? So basically other more classical machine learning methods like simple regression models or also decision tree variants can also really make a difference, and they also come with a couple of advantages. For example, often they are more explainable, more understandable in order to sort of see what's going on inside, which is something that we at Corporate Technology technology and the Siemens AI Lab at Siemens, we also really focus on, we have a lot of experts focusing on these more classical machine learning methods, because they're a lot more explainable, and this is often very important in industrial solutions because you want to understand what is going on in your system. So really glad to have this expertise and the corresponding solutions on the table as well. And yeah, the two-model approach sounds interesting, so I wish you a great wedding for tomorrow, marrying the two together. And that wraps up our updates from the teams. To sort of give you one last overview, I would like to basically show the stream. So wait, we go, yeah, that's it. So this is basically almost what's been happening. Most of this is in the past, but as I said, you can watch the kickoff, the team updates as video on demand. This one will be updated soon, so if you want to share it with your friends and tell your family and friends and colleagues about the great things that have been happening at this hackathon, you know it's going to be available for quite a while still, so you know, no missed opportunities there. And I guess, you know, things are getting real, because in less than 24 hours, we will be looking at the final pitches from all 5 teams in front of our jury. So very, very excited to see that tomorrow. I'll be hosting again. Take your Saturday afternoon off, no matter how good the weather is. I don't care. Tune in tomorrow, tell all your friends about it, because that's really the big event that we're all looking forward to. And in the end, there's even going to be a live DJ stream, and you can really network. We're going to have a lot of Slack channels and also Hangouts for you open, so you can connect with other people. You can connect with the participants. You can connect with the companies, and of course Siemens as well. So there's going to be a great opportunity. Hope to see a lot of you guys there tomorrow. And until then, best of luck, and hopefully a little bit of sleep to our hackers, the stars of the show. Tune in also in the morning if you want to stretch with Case. It's your last opportunity to, you know, get our fitness guru into your life tomorrow morning in the at 9 o'clock. So tune in for that as well. Also, scan the barcode if you haven't registered yet for the final event. You don't need to register. You can watch it here on Ingenuity either way, but we'll give you some behind-the-scenes information via Slack if you join in via Eventbrite. So make sure to do that as well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I'm out. Talk to you soon.